What's this? Another list? At this time of year? Located entirely within my kitchen? Can you see it? Yes! This is the worst shows and movies I watched in 2023, as recorded by Track.tv. Track.tv is a site that, you guessed it, tracks your viewing habits and offers suggestions based on what you watch and/or rated highly. To be clear, these aren't the worst releases of 2023, these are the worst things I watched in 2023. Also important to note that, like most people, I tend to not watch things that aren't appealing to me. I will watch some things that I think will be so bad they're good, or things that are culturally important like a continuation of a franchise, or a very costly piece of media production. So without further ado, here are my worst shows and movies of 2023. Number 10. Obliterated. This show had so much potential. To be fair, I'm only 4 of 8 episodes in, but I can't see it getting any better. I think they played their trump card in episodes 1 and 2 and are now running on cruise control. Obliterated is the story of a counter-terrorist team who foil a nuclear bomb sale, and then have the party to end all parties. Only, midway through, they get the call to say that the sale they stopped was a decoy and the bomb is still out there. If you like nudity and swearing, you might get something out of this. If you like penises, this is the show for you. I just got done with episode 4 and it had a plot line that was really interesting, had me deeply invested, but it was all a hallucination. Sucked in. That was the final straw. This show sucks. The villains are weak and the main characters are unlikable. They also need to just call the mission off. They have plenty of opportunity. They even crash a helicopter but keep going while stoned out of their minds. One for the 14-year-olds out there. Number 9. Futurama. This one is a real shame as I love the first few seasons of Futurama. The first thing you'll notice is everyone's voice is off. Except for Leela, as Katie Seagal never does any voice other than her own natural voice. The rest of them sound like they're about 50, which is probably true. The problem is the geniuses who wrote this made it start with the professor taking his time machine and asking everyone if they want to go around again. So they're all back to being 25 or so, but with the voices and energy levels of geriatrics. Some of the episodes are just bizarre though. One of them, Leela meets a space prince and cucks Fry right in front of him. Then it breaks off into a bizarre series of ad breaks where the main cast are toys in toy commercials. It's one of those things where you're like, huh? That would make a good 5-second cutaway gag, but they go on and on and on. Honestly, I can't remember much more about the season except for expect to see a lot of familiar faces. They dig up old plot points for no real reason all throughout the season. Remember the old frog lady that married Kif and Amy? Well, she's back. Number 8. Five Nights at Freddys. This was poorly written slop with the only redeeming feature being the excellent animatronic effects. They concentrate more on the security guard and his little sister, and there's a nosy cop that for some reason wants to keep hanging around the guy guarding the abandoned pizza parlor. The reason why will shock you. Well, not really. It's pretty predictable what's going on when there's only around 6 characters. Watch this one only if you're 12 years old and a big fan of the games. There's supposedly some YouTuber cameos, but as I'm an adult, it never registered with me. Avoid. Number 7. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Stopped after 1 episode. The first half of season 1 was pretty good. They seemed like they were doing sci-fi plots with plausible solutions to their issues. Then the love triangle started. The nurse and the Vulcan. Tune in for the steamy new season. I also didn't like how they would throw the rulebook away for their own crew, yet hold everyone else to the letter of the law. Imagine you find out that one of the members of your World War II submarine crew was actually a card-carrying member of the SS. Would you help them hide it? Hell no. Like I said, I only got 1 episode in. The lovey-dovey stuff and the rule breaking was enough for me to not want to continue. Number 6. Utopia. Stopped after 3 episodes. An Australian comedy set inside a government department that has to juggle what's best for the people and what's best for the politicians. The cast seems like it was chosen from a small pool. Like that's the best actor you can get? Everyone seems so awkward. The jokes were what really turned me off. Prior seasons had clever scenarios and resolutions, while this season just seemed to take the most obvious joke and run with it. It also seemed like a lot of the jokes revolved around, the new person is popular and I'm jealous. Maybe it gets better, but I can't be bothered watching. Number 5. Silo. I stopped after 3 episodes. It was an interesting premise. People live in an underground bunker. They no longer know why they're in there. They no longer know how long it's been. They just know they'll die if they leave. You can say I want out and they'll let you go, but it's a death sentence. But things aren't what they seem. I had to stop after the 80-pound woman was the only one with the strength to fix the steam turbine that powers the silo. Come on, there's hulking brutes next to her, but she pushes them out of the way to yank on a wrench? At least make it something believable, like they broke the last torque wrench, and she has the magic touch to tighten the bolts to within tolerance. Let me know if I should continue watching, but at least give me a solid reason. Number 4. The Mandalorian. Following the Disney formula, The Mandalorian Season 3 does its best to sidetrack its beloved male character for an unlikable female replacement. They did it with Hawkeye, they did it with Boba Fett, they even did it with Obi-Wan Bloody Kenobi. Now it's Mando's turn. Get out of here, Mando, or bloody Jizz Jeffries, or whatever your name is. Bo-Katan is here. The Mandalorians are made to look like such idiots in this season, wandering around aimlessly until a woman comes along to reunite the tribes. Helmet goes on, helmet goes off. And don't get me started on the Jack Black and Lizzo episodes. Shut it all down. Number 3. Thor Love and Thunder. Took me 3 sittings to watch it. I like Ragnarok, but that was action with sprinklings of comedy. Love and Thunder is comedy with sprinklings of action. Somehow Jane Foster becomes the mighty Thor because she has cancer or something. She's deemed just as worthy, if not more so, than Steve Rogers. Come off it. That guy fought the Nazis, had a pure heart, and risked everything to defeat Thanos. What did Jane Foster do? Invent the world's worst beer? Taika Waititi's lost the plot. But then, I never really liked anything else he did besides What We Do in the Shadows. Number 2. Robin Hood. You know a show is poorly written when you find yourself siding with the villain. This is a race and gender swapped modern day take on the Robin Hood tales. Robin with a Y is a sassy black girl who loves to rap and to steal. Hey, I didn't write this. A property developer wants to buy the Sherwood Towers Housing Commission tower that Robin lives in. So her and her hood make it their mission to steal, harass, intimidate, kidnap, and whatever other crimes it takes to get him to stop. The only sane person is the villain, John Prince, who wants to redevelop the area. The only time you disagree with him is in the final episode or 2, where he reveals his master plan that doesn't make economic sense. Number 1. Strays. Strays is about a dog who is abandoned by its owner but is too stupid to realise it's been abandoned. He teams up with a group of dogs and tries to make a return trip, only realising part way that he was abandoned on purpose. Well, now he wants to return, so he can bite his owner's willy off. This movie seems like someone's parents have left them alone and they can finally say all the swear words they can think of. Most of the humour comes from inappropriate swearing or gross sexual innuendo. You can only watch dogs hump things for so long before it loses its charm. Will Forte is okay in this, but he doesn't have much to work with. Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx need to fire their agents. I gave it a 2. And that's it, my worst of 2023. Did they match with yours, or were yours completely different? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, see you next year.